If you don't break the illusion, if you don't realize what's going on in your reality, what's going on in your world, you're living in a fantasy land. And living in that fantasy land means you're going to always think everything is okay. The example I was giving to someone who tried to tell me that I was blaming YouTube and Google for what's going on here, I said to them, I was like, I'm not blaming anybody. People are sitting in a jail right now, and the door on that jail is open, but they don't know they're in a jail. They don't know that they're confined. So you got to walk in there and you got to say, hey, you realize you're in a jail, right? And you realize you're capable of way more than this, but you're in a jail. And it's the tech companies and all these people that are offering you that jail. The door is open. You can walk out. They're not closing the door on that jail. The door is open. And people are going, I don't even know I'm in a jail. What do you mean I have to get out of a jail? So you have to break the illusion. You have to wake people up to the fact that you're in a jail. All of a sudden, their eyes change. Oh, I see the jail I'm in. Holy crap. Well, I'm pissed off that I'm in this jail. Well, hold on a second. You don't need to be pissed off. The door's right there. You can walk through it. You can walk right out of the jail. Oh, okay. So I don't need to be pissed off then. Yeah, no. And if you walk through that jail, or you walk through that door, and you go out into full potentiality, guess what? Those tech companies don't even have power anymore. They only have power when you're in the jail and you don't know that you're in the jail. That's it. So when people get caught up in this idea that talking about this stuff is negative, that talking about this stuff holds humanity in this state of blaming, yeah, there is a way to talk about it that way. And I'm not going to call the guy out, but a lot of times that might resemble the way, say, like Alex Jones might talk about it. It could be an aggressive form of saying, oh, blah, 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 we got to attack, we got to, do this, we got to fight, we got to go and blah, 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 blah. And it holds people in this down and out sort of like aggressive, angry state. But you don't need to be in that state. You can actually disempower them by saying, we're going to wake up to the jail that we're in, we're going to walk right out of that jail, and they're going to have no power anymore. And it's that simple. Because when you're outside that jail, you make different choices. When you're on your phone and you see the search results, you go, that's Google trying to tell me what to think. I'm not going to fall for that. And guess what? Now your narratives and perspectives change. Now that tool that they're trying to use has no effect. Not only that, it's not going to then shape your reality. Then your reality is now not going to shape the world that they want you to shape. So instead of creating the world they want you to create, you see through that world and you create a different world. Times that by 7 billion people. What world starts to get created? It's the reality of the situation. You can get caught up in the new age mumbo jumbo that you're not allowed to talk about this stuff and that it's negative and that if you talk about it, you're blaming somebody. Or you can see the truth. Well, I guess, let me throw in one other option. You can get caught up in the angry mumbo jumbo, which is like, we need to fight these people and kill these people and blah, blah, blah. And you'll just keep producing exactly what they want you to produce, which is a low frequency, a low vibration, a down and out state of being and emotions. Or you can do what we do here at Collective Evolution. Move through the CE protocol, conscious media, where you see what's going on in the world. You go, oh, okay. You see what's happening and you say, all right, we're going to move through the emotions. We're going to process this stuff. I now know how my world works and how it functions. Now I'm going to empower myself. I'm going to move out of that disempowered state where someone else is telling me what is true and what's not true. I'm going to empower myself, see through their stuff, and now operate and act in a different way. But it's also going to change how I have all my conversations. Now all of a sudden when I'm having a conversation about some of the, the bunk that they've been trying to share to basically divide the whole American public, you say, hey, you know that bunk? You know where that comes from? That comes from manipulation through Google and different search terms and YouTube and trying to control narratives. And that comes from a shadowy group of people that have been trying to basically control these narratives. And it's not a conspiracy theory. Even if Google and YouTube comes out and says, oh, it's a conspiracy theory. Mainstream media, oh, it's a conspiracy theory. It's not. It's not a conspiracy. The evidence is here. If you take the time to look at it, you get out of the political divides. I'm a Democrat, I'm a Republican. Get out of that. Look at what's actually happening, because that is our only way forward. You look at what's happening and you say, okay, that's just a game to keep us in the jail. The door is open, but when I align with being a Democrat, I'm in the jail. When I align with being a Republican, I'm in the jail. It's that simple, because those are just filters that skew your perception of reality. That's all it is. You get out of those filters, you start realizing, hey, I'm in a whole different possibility here. And that's when you start tapping into the possibility. That's when you get into the quantum infinite that actually exists. That's where consciousness meets our physical world. That's where you actually can start to see how these spiritual ideas and these conscious ideas that have scientific validation, that are real, that's how they actually produce our world that's in front of us. Because a lot of people have trouble realizing how this stuff actually affects our world. And without that link, which is what we do at CE, we make that link, then you think spirituality and consciousness is over here and our real world is over here, and they're two separate and they don't touch, and you can't really touch them. You can only just focus on like the positive. You can't do that because that doesn't wake anybody up. That doesn't move anything forward. That doesn't break the illusion. And that's step one of the CE protocol. That's what it's all about.